Time delay in robotic systems pose a major challenge for stable haptic force feedback. One promising potential solution is to use sensory substitution of force feedback through skin deformation rather than through traditional kinesthetic force feedback. In this study, we tested the effect of different time delays on the perception of force by a user through skin deformation force feedback. A 3-degree of freedom force-controlled tactile sensory substitution device was developed by visiting scholar Yasuhisa Kamikawa. This device provided skin deformation force feedback directly to the finger pad, using a delta mechanism with a 3-axis force sensor. During experiments, an omega-3 was also used to track the position of this device and to provide gravity compensation of the device. A black tactor deforms user's skin when held by the user during comparison tests. The white aperture supports the user's fingers to ensure that only localized skin deformation occurs during tests. Here we see a side view of the skin deformation device while in use by a user. Our study examined 2 types of time delays, latency and refresh rate. Latency is the time delay in the transfer of information from the virtual environment to the skin deformation device, represented by the delay box in the diagram. Refresh rate is the time delay in the control feedback loop of the skin deformation device, represented by the hold box in the diagram. We tested users' perceptions of stiffness and viscous stamping as time delays in the form of latency and refresh rate were induced into the system. For these tests, users moved the skin deformation device to compare 2 virtual boxes. The gray box provided a reference force feedback with induced latency or refresh rate, while the blue box would have either a user tunable stiffness or viscous stamping. Stiffness tests also included a red shroud box over the top of the blue and gray boxes to occlude the point of contact between the haptic interaction point and the boxes. We found that an increase in the latency time delay increases the perceived stiffness and has no effect on the perceived viscous damping via skin deformation force feedback. Additionally, we found that an increase in the update time, or a decrease in the refresh rate, increases the perceived stiffness and has no effect on perceived viscous damping via skin deformation force feedback. Thank you for listening.